Hello everyone, how good of you to join. Take a cup of coffee, sit back, relax and enjoy another day of Anno 1800. Now looking at Eli there once again, this prison island that we have. Lots of very clean people, by the way, because they're purchasing soap like crazy. And what we do need here, or what we actually have here, is a pretty good item. And we have 6 more minutes to purchase it. It's Dario the Mechanical Engineer, 333,000. I'm really surprised that he popped up there. He's as rare as Chef Michel. And this one is affecting bicycle factories and sewing machine factories. Instead of steel, they process iron. How great is that? We don't need that steel anymore for our sewing machines, and we do need a lot of sewing machines, and we only need iron then and logs, and this makes it really cheap. I want that, even though it means bankruptcy for us at some point. I want it. We have a couple of problems though. The one problem is that my rum is not that efficient. We are producing a lot of rum, no doubt about that, but it's just not getting there in a very efficient manner. Look at my trade routes. We have all our ships basically going in one way right now. None is going in the other way. That means that we are having this big gap there all the time with ships just not delivering. I'm actually going to build me 2 more clippers. I might actually ramp this up to 4 more clippers, even though it means the total destruction of the remainings of my influence. But it's really expensive that we get this one out there. Otherwise, we are going to drop there in money really hard. One thing that I did though is we are selling a few things that we found on the island. So one of them would be this book here, and that's already enough. So if I'm quick enough, I should be able to purchase this guy now. Let's just try it, and we did. Oh my goodness, we are down there, and since we are negative on the balance, we will actually drop negative now there as well, but it's worth it. Let's get this one back to Crown Falls there. I might actually need to move this guy then to some other places, but for now it's going to be worth it. Holy cow, my money there. I mean, I'm pretty confident that once the rum is coming in, we will be looking better again. The rum is very close to Crown Falls. It's still pretty bad. Let's take one of my other warships there now. So 2 more warships are coming out. One is going down here right away to my fleet, and the other one is going to take some goods now. We do have some items here that I could sell. There is this cast iron stove that I don't really need. Then they have not a tiger, probably don't, and the legendary museum item, of course, I'm not going to sell there as well for a couple of money there, a bit of money there. But we need to get that money in. Where's my rum, for Christ's sake? There we have another upgraded good. The sewing machines are now in level 1, I guess, for the pigheads, right? So we are now getting more pigheads out of the sewing machines. And sewing machines is going to be a real deal here, since it's going to be so cheap soon that we can... Oh, and Blake is actually giving us a bit of money, but the rum is coming in. And as we can see, the balance is recovering there. But really, we need to look out for that bloody rum, that it gets in there a bit more stable. So that's why I need more clippers on this route, because rum is there, it's just not distributed very well at the moment. Now another thing is Honest Bro over there. It didn't really help us that much here with Bente, right? She still doesn't want to do anything with us. And yeah, her military score is actually going up again. And the same goes with Princess Ching. It's just impossible for me to catch up with them because I just don't have the influence. So we're giving up this island. I was actually going to give it up anyway. I'm just now giving it up without it being conquered. There is no white piece on it anymore, and I can't afford to protect it. We don't have the influence for a proper defense. It's not a very good island anyway. Lots of rivers, very bad placement overall. Let's get rid of that. It's going to give me back some influence. We're at 30 influence, perfect. And the hope is, by giving it up myself, that Hugo settles that first, right? So it's now a race between the 3 AIs who takes this island here first, and I hope that Hugo is going to be it. If it's Bente, well, then we're back to square one, but at least we damage her a bit and we get the influence back. That's something at least to work on. Inauspicious Isle, I'm continuing here with a few more houses. We don't need anything else here really other than those houses. I don't need any production chains at the moment. And another thing is that I'm still waiting on a sapling called coffee for Auspicious Isle, because then we can have our coffee plantations here. What I can do for now though is I could start with my caoutchouc plantations, because we're going to need them pretty soon. Oh, and the ships are ready, so let's just have a look. Let's add another clipper to Pocahontas to my rum trade route, and I'm going to have another one for the cotton thunderclap. 2 more clippers are coming out then soon, and they are going to work then on the caoutchouc or the coffee, respectively. Now, my propaganda, let's try to go with -30. It's just so powerful. I would like to, it's not possible, unfortunately. I would need to go down on +5 on the money. Then it could be possible. And yes, let's go with that, even though it will drop my balance there a bit.
Then I'll send it out.
By 5%, but I think we can afford it. By the way, it also brings us closer to 0 income propaganda then soon, because I probably will want to reduce that. Look at the rum. It's insane. It's really not good. It's capped. We have so many ships on this trade route, and yet it's totally wrongly distributed. A few more storage depots there. Where are the clippers? Why are they stuffed together like that? And we are having a smaller attack there. Oh, it's this one. It's the rum trader. Yes, it's the new trader here, Pocahontas. Not that used to it yet. But something is terribly wrong with my rum, basically. Now, Dario has arrived. Very important. Let's get Dario over here. There we have our... Oh, who settled it? Ah, it is Hugo Mercier. How very lucky for us. Hugo Mercier was the first one. He's, of course, the next one, right? Because the island is right next to him. And he took his chance and settled on that. And that is a good thing, because Hugo Mercier is a friend of ours. And we are very, very golden with him. Alliance is not possible yet. Why? Because we need to finish his quests for that. And that we might actually focus soon. But with that, we actually boosted one of our allies there. There would be some ships for sale. I'm not going with that yet. I would really like to get Daria out there now. For that, we do need to move one of these, unfortunately. Let's just have a look where we have our trade union. And yes, we moved some of these fur coat dealers now to that side there with the respective warehouses. Because here, I do need to move some of those sewing machine factories now down in order to have a trade union right in the center. And the cool thing here is we could then have more of them together here, right? So this one, we might need to move it a bit and get this one down here as well, to just have more of them in this area, because that's really, really worth it. I think this one might, yeah, I think this one might be even better, even though I don't think we will have all of them then being connected. And here, let's get rid of that. There's going to be a train there at some point, but for now, that's fine. And here in the center, I can then have my trade union like that, and I hope that we can reach as many of them as possible. Yeah, it's looking rather good, I think, except one. But other than that, we should reach all of them. Let's have it. And trade union 20 influence. We lack 1 influence. I think we need to cancel one of my clippers. Or, wait a second, what we could also do is we could just get rid of one of these guns here, right? In fact, let's get rid of all of them because they're totally useless. And we save the influence on that. 30 influence we have. And that makes it possible now for us to purchase this trade union here. And with that, we can now have Dario the mechanical engineer boosting all of them here, right? It replaces now steel and it processes iron. Very nice. By the way, if I move this one, I think we can still do something here for optimization. We can add, yep, a warehouse here and further boost the production because the warehouse was a bit far away, right? Now it's right next to them. And let's actually build this one here as well. I really want to boost my sewing machines now. Why? Basically because they have a huge trade value for us. And this trade value I want to use. And I want to exploit that. This one's not reached, so I need to push it a bit further up there, I think. Are you serious? Let's push it a bit further up now. It's still not reached. How is that possible? It's actually almost in it. Now that's it. 3 of them are being reached up here as well. Of course, we could move it probably a bit further and get another road then. But I'm pretty confident that this is going to be enough. Now, as we can see, iron is their new input goods they want. That, of course, also means that, well, iron consumption is going to skyrocket with that. Let's just check my iron there real quick. And we are now really negative on the iron. That means I need more of that. Lucky us, iron is really, really cheap to get. It's an extremely cheap product. There we have it. And what I could do is I could actually use some of the sewing machines that we produce now and get us the iron in a ratio of 1 to 9, which is insane. Let's get us 100 there, and that's 1,000 iron that we actually get out of that. We don't need that much iron really, but it's nice to have it then and capped. So that means we consume now 200 sewing machines every time, right? Of course, as long as we are not upgrade. We might also, as looking with the soap. The difference is night and day really, but we produce way more soap. So let's actually go ahead and get us more soap in here, right? Because I think soap production is insane. It's really high. It's actually capped on soap right now, and we do get a lot of that. While sewing machines might still struggle now. Not anymore though soon, once Tobias is coming in. Another thing we could do, of course, is we could take the iron deposits of these islands there. It's really small though. This one has a bit more. So that would be my next target then. Let's just check my iron mines. I think we're already boosting them. Yes, there's really not much more that I can take out of that. I'm glad to see that the rum finally is really up though there. Perfect. Fur coats is looking a bit better now as well with going up. Schnapps is really going down hard. We have, well, actually a lot of workers, so let's upgrade them to artisans. This will of course also reduce the amount of schnapps that we consume. So over there we have plenty of them, and we do have the materials. So let's go ahead and do that. There we have a couple more. Here in the harbor area we do have a few more. There's actually one more worker that was a bit left out. This artisan building here needs canned food, right? Yep, that would be my next target. By the way, that clipper with the white flag, let's get it back to Eli. Because we need to get still Chef Michel, and we do need over 300,000 credits for that. So I need to hurry up a bit on that. Let's upgrade a few more farmers here. And then we can afford to upgrade more workers here as well, as that city is growing. Perfect. We are running out of workforce now, so I need to upgrade a few more farmers. Yep, let's actually have more down here now as we continue to advance. And by the way, my islands that we have, right? My riverland villages, there we can still upgrade a few more. And up here as well. Perfect. There we have a bit of a balanced workforce again. Now, of course, that we no longer need steel for our sewing machines is extremely valuable, because steel is needed for the steam machines and for the bicycles that we want to construct now. And both of them are going to consume a lot of steel. So it's really good that we no longer need to worry about that. And we can now rightly go ahead with pushing our caoutchouc production. Let's go ahead. So in this beautiful beach area, we can have a warehouse. Here, we can then have those pearl farms later on that we will need as well for the jewelry. But for now, it's all about the caoutchouc. I think we can squeeze in one more farm here that is going to need a bit more work though, because I think, yes, there's the oil spring here, right? And we can actually squeeze in another one just for the heck of it, and get us a few more fields up there. They are producing every 1 minute, so that's not so fast. I'm probably just going to upgrade this warehouse here. And of course, we can then boost the whole thing to the other side as well. Actually, those only there to make this one a bit more clean. We're going to need quite a lot of caoutchouc, by the way, so it's totally worth doing that for now. And then I'm probably going to have another one here. And these oil springs, yes, we can... Wait a second, we have 4 here, we have 17, we're going to completely neglect those. I don't think we're ever going to need them really. Very nice, so that's that. All of them are there. And let's have a warehouse here then as well. And let's have a warehouse for those guys down here as well. So that's the caoutchouc. That's going to be a lot of caoutchouc. It only needs farmers. What we still need though is, for that, is 2 things. And that is number 1, more storage, for sure. So let's have a nice little harbor area then here, right? So kind of like a pier going out there. That we're going to use for this harbor. Perfect. Looking actually pretty good. And let's build those storages. That's going to be a lot. And then we only need the clippers. She's only selling warships right now. I think we have finished those clippers. There we have them, the wild pigeon and the black rose. Let's create us a new trade route from the New World, and we're going to make this as clean as possible to Cape Trelawney over here. This is going to be in the New World group once again. And also, let's just check that we are using it in a proper way. We definitely should not Alrighty, what is going on here? I cannot move my waypoints. Now I can, hopefully. It's a bit strange, but we were able to move them. So this way here, right? Because we need to avoid the Reverend Shelter there. Auspicious Isle, we are going to take now all the caoutchouc in the world. And we will be having 2 clippers for that right away. Of course, there's going to be more than on this trade route here, because coffee is going to play a vital role for this island. While the clipper is on the way, let's build those farms. Let's just have a look how much we really need. Demand right now is 6 per minute. We can actually produce 4 per minute. So 2 factories would already be enough. Let's make it 3 factories that we can push out here. And with that, well, actually, we do need 12 caoutchouc plantations, and that should work us nicely. Now, you will have seen probably that this building requires electricity, which is quite right, and that is our very next goal. But caoutchouc, pushing that is really important early on, because it's going to take a long time before we get a decent amount of caoutchouc in. I'm actually lacking some timber right now. And that is my mistake. I thought we were having a timber production on it. We have some royal galleons ready though, so let's get us a bit more timber in Tristão. Now, let's go back to Grand Falls and let's start producing electricity. Let's start getting the oil. We have over here the first oil springs ever, and we're going to use them for our bicycle production, right? We're going to need an oil harbor down here that's going to consume a lot of steel. And that would be my very first new building that I would like to have down here. There's the oil harbor, and we just need to find us a suitable location for that now, really. And yes, there we can have it, our very first oil harbor. Or well, actually, it's going to be a pretty important building for a very long time. And the other thing that we now need to do is starting our first train network. And we'll also be thinking then, where do we want to have our bicycle production? And I would like to have it up here. So we are going to need quite a lot of buildings that require electricity, and this whole area is going to work for that. It's low pollution area, right? So all of these productions will take little, will cause little pollution. And we can now finally use those. Oh, Hugo, what is going on with you? He really wants that island there. We need to purchase it back. And we can now also go for up here. There we have the refinery. I think we're going to need 2. Or can we actually squeeze all of them in? That's 5. Where's the 6th one? Oh, it's only 5. All right. But we can all of them have 1 oil refinery. And that will be just enough oil really for 2, I think, power plants that we're going to have then. Let's get this one out there now. Then we have the oil well. So this is going to cost us a bit here as well. All 5 of them. That's going to cost us now in total 52 steel beams and 45,000 credits, right? And from that, we get the first tracks out there, really. And this is no longer blueprinted mode now. This is for real. I just want to see that we get this one into the island there quickly. We don't need those grain farms here anymore, by the way. We are importing grain and a lot of that too. Let's get rid of them. Off you go. Let's also get rid of this road and this warehouse there. And with that, we have now everything ready to push the oil transportation to the other side here with that bridge. That's actually a lot of steel that this cost us, that bridge. 49 tons of timber. And here we make the connection then with the double tracks. Now, of course, the goal long-term wise is to have double tracks, but since it's so expensive, I'm only going with a single track system for now. And we don't need anything else, right? Because we don't have that many trains here commuting at the moment. Let's get rid of these roads here. And it's good. We can continue then here. So for now, I will actually need to cut off quite a few of my buildings. And then all the way down here as well. There's a paved road. We need to be quick about it. And then in here into the oil harbor. Right, so here we have that. Here it's going to split up then into a lot of different tracks for all of the trains that we're going to need. Up here, along this line there, and then all the way into that area. And I think we might be running out of steel now, which is not so bad. Nah, we can actually do the connection here. Perfect. So there we get the first one. And let's actually make the crossings there again. Because otherwise those poor people will not be able to travel to the other side anymore. We can't certainly allow that. Now, having more steel beams, again, let's build the oil refinery here now. There we have it. It's really cheap, actually. 250 credits it only cost me. And as we can see, the productivity goes up here now. We could still push this one by another 50% if we want to. And of course, with trade unions, we can further push this one. So out of these 5 oil wells, we actually get quite a lot out of that. The only thing I now need is the small oil harbor that we've built it now too. Yeah, with 500 base capacity that we have out of this one now. And as we can see, the first juicy trains are coming out here in all their glory. Beautiful, beautiful trains there with their very choppy turnings and curves, but who gives, really? And yeah, if someone of you asks, this is a modded train system here, modded tracks that you can find without the grass, because I really didn't like the grass overall. It just didn't look very natural to have tracks in the city with grass patches around them. Looks very sloppy and stuff like that. This one is on its way now, getting us the first oil. It's a long distance there, but it's totally fine as it's transporting on demand anyway. And here, well, we can now have a look then at our new industrial zone that is going to have then the bicycles once the caoutchouc comes in. Stay tuned.